Hey there, Andrew from ThinkPaid.com here. Today what I'm going to do is something a little different. What I normally do for videos is I actually make the video first and then dub over it. Today I'm just going to kind of, go with the flow. Today I'm going to be talking about Senuke X, specifically Senuke XCR. Now, just before everybody starts wondering, or if they haven't actually looked into it, the CR part of it stands for crowdsourcing. We're just going to open it up. Ignore that. So one of the first things that you'll notice is a couple of different things. Well, first off, a new logo, but finally. Second off, we have a new thing called a Turbo Wizard and a portal. So first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the portal just to show you guys what there is. Now, bear with me right now, there's only 136 scripts that are above a 50% success rate. I wouldn't really necessarily worry about that too much. I mean, Senuke XCR is actually quite new. Now, what happens is I have 10 points starting off right off the bat, and each one counts as, I believe, a single point. I went through this list a little bit before, and the main things that I'm actually going to grab off of this that I think are important is the RSS, the press release, the 3 article directories, and I don't know, something else. Well, that's not necessarily important. What I'm going to do is just going to download it right now, get 5 scripts from the portal. It'll cost me 5 points. That's weird. Cost me 4 points even though I downloaded 5 things. Whatever. Okay, so enough of that. I added those into my arsenal already. So it's great. What Turbo Wizard is it'll let you just go right through, enter in your URLs one per line, enter in all your keywords. What I suggest for this, especially post-Penguin, is to include some generic keywords and LSI keywords, not specifically just your target keyword. That's actually very important when trying to actually rank, so just to keep that in mind. You basically enter in all your tags that you want. If you have Article Builder, great. You can get some really high quality content. If not, I mean, you can just use this. I wouldn't recommend this, in all honesty, but if you're strapped for time, hey, why not? So we're just going to go over there. What I'm going to do is actually show you how I actually structure all of my websites, because as you can see, I have personal, I have work, and I have keywords. So what I'm going to do is actually just going to create a new campaign. Let's just quickly call it YouTube. So we have that there. Now, if you're like me, you know for a fact that you're going to have XCR for a very long time. So what I suggest again is splitting this up. So let's just say 2012. So right as soon as you actually finish with 2012, I mean, it's already October, you then can have 2013 and redo the structure. This will actually save you a lot of time in the future. And again, on top of that, yes, it's year 2012. Guess what I'm going to do next? Whoopsies. The month. Unselect this because I don't want this to be a root campaign. It'll automatically stick it inside. So from there on, let's start off our new campaign. Let's see. Right, I already selected actually one of the websites that I was actually going to target. It's one of my old micro niche websites, so what I'm actually going to do is just put it on here. Sclera contacts. Now this is especially important seeing as I actually targeted this specifically because I mean it's October and sclera contacts, they're the contacts that you usually wear around Halloween or during anime conventions or things like, drama club or whatever else. I mean these types of contacts are also used in like TV and movies and all that type of stuff too. So let's just save the campaign, going right through. Gonna select the wizard. If the wizard will load up. But yeah, I'll go over some basic backlinking tips and whatnot with you as soon as I just fill in all these details really quickly. So again, with this, oh, I did it wrong, but that's okay. Anyways, so with there, I will just put Sclera contacts, make this a sub-campaign. I honestly don't remember, but I'm pretty sure that's the specific one. Actually, what I'm going to do, so I'm just going to go straight right in there. I'm just going to hide that. Yeah, it's scleracontacts.net. Let's select some of mine. Now, as you can see, my ads are off. So as you can see, I mean, this is your typical old school micro niche site, thin site. Now, you have to be careful with these because Google really doesn't like these too much. I can still be fine with them. It's just you have to be really careful. So let's see. Actually, I'm just going to select the home page and just the generic article. So we have those two. So I'm just going to go in here. See, this is actually a good thing because now you can actually include as many keywords as you want. Again, this is especially good seeing as you can include a lot of generic keywords like site, link, etc. That's actually very important now. So I'm just going to list off a few. Sorry about my keyboard. I know it's really loud. What you'll also want to include is just basically your link as well. And I'll actually include the direct link as well. So I mean, there you have your 5 keywords. Sclera contacts, etc., etc. Let's go for cheap Sclera contacts. Top Sclera contacts. So there's your other keywords. Let's see what else is there. Best Sclera contacts. I mean, you can go wild on this. It doesn't really matter right now, but just keep in mind that if you're aiming for the keyword Sclera contacts, you can't have just that anymore. What'll happen is it's a very big footprint and Google will see this and penalize you for it. So I mean, we have your direct, we have your link, we have your LSIs. Let's go for some generics. So site, click here, link, original source, original article. Let's see, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of others. But site, website, cool site, I don't know, whatever. Let's just leave it at that. One profile will do for this. I mean, it's not going to be a big campaign. Let's just go over this. So title, I already, excuse me, I already actually made up. Actually, what I have here is actually a spin-taxed article already set. I actually used the best spinner for this. Specifically, I actually just auto-spun it. I don't actually recommend doing this, but this is just for demonstration purposes anyway. It'll save me a lot of time. So let's see, auto-generate company name. You actually do want to include a company name. Normally, you'd also want to technically include a picture because, I mean, Google loves pictures. But it doesn't matter. So let's see, entertainment, Halloween. Here you just want to enter in as many categories as you can or that you can think of. I mean, Sclera contacts would be business related. I mean, you have to buy them. Again, retail, you know, just basic stuff. Internet, anime, I don't know, geek. So I'm just going to auto select. I don't necessarily need to go through these because, I mean, some of them will be really weird. I mean, world and business, finance, politics. And if you really want to, if it's for a very important website, what you'd want to do is go through this list and actually deselect the ones that don't have anything to do with, you know, your website. So I mean, with finance, I mean, you can probably go to news. Oh, I should have probably put news there. That would have probably selected a lot of the news ones, or recreation, or... Anyways, go through these lists and actually see what there is. You can auto-select, and I mean, it takes a long time to go through this whole entire list and actually manually select them. So I'm just going to go through. You know what? Auto-generate. This is a great new feature. I used to have an annoying time coming up with separate bios every single time. So this does it for you automatically. It also puts in all the links properly. I mean, you can see them right here. It's great. I'm going to do the same thing here. Generally not a good idea. You'd want to actually remove... Oh, wait. No, that's fine. You'll want to probably read through this. I mean, you can use links here, but I mean, the auto-generate works just as well. So yada, yada, yada. You want to keep it short. While this doesn't look so short, it is. It's just in spin-tax format. So yeah, the designer hasn't changed too much. You'll probably notice a few new things. PDF, WordPress, Wiki. These are actually pretty cool. PDFs, document uploading, is actually really in right now, especially when it comes to trying to rank in Google. WordPress, what that is, to my knowledge, I haven't actually used this because I actually use a different program for this, but I believe you'd actually be able to use all of your WordPress, or sorry, your keyword.wordpress.com websites, stick them in here, and create like a mini blog network. Now, I use a different program for it. I actually use Article Marketing Robot for that, but it's actually kind of cool that they actually put it in. So I'm actually going to really quickly do a really quick decent, basic link pyramid. Before I go into that, though, what I'm going to actually tell you is that gone are the days where you could just spam a single URL and hope to rank. I mean, yes, Scrapebox is a tool that I use almost every single day. Actually, I use it every single day. I mean, there's certain forum blasting software out there that you'd be able to utilize so well as a third tier. But I mean, you shouldn't be directly linking them to your first tier or your money site. That'll actually be really bad. It's a really big footprint, and unless you're like a site like WordPress.com with thousands of links, of low quality links backlinked to it, Google will most likely penalize you, and all the work that you put into your site will be gone. So basically what I'm going to do is show you a really quick way on how you should be backlinking your website, whether it's new or old. This has generally helped me a lot. So here we go. One of the main things that I can't stress enough, press release. You gotta love your press releases. And I mean, there's only 22 websites in those, and half of them probably won't work, etc., etc. But it's a great way to go. Let's see. You want your article directory. Again, there's not too many of them, 28, which is great. Some of them that are in there, though, are things in places like Go Articles, and they're a really big website. And this does it automatically for you. I mean, normally I used to go into the top 10 article directories and do them manually. You don't have to anymore. It's great. This does it for you. That's why I love the software. Social networks. These are also great. These are your basic blog networks. 36 of them. Again, I mean, there's not a lot in each one, but together they really work out. Wikis, 57. These, I believe, are mixed MediaWiki and WikaWiki. I could be incorrect. I haven't actually gone through the list, but I mean, it happens. Let's see here. And PDF. So these are your basic contextual link type of, backlinks. These are what should be put on your first tier. On top of that, you'd also probably want social bookmarks, etc., etc. Now, what I do suggest is not to do this during every single blast. Because, I mean, if you keep on doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, it'll lose its strength. So actually, I'm just going to move this down. So let's say during this blast, I just want a nice contextual pyramid. But let's say I schedule another blast a day or two from now. I'll do, your social bookmarks and your Web 2.0 profiles and whatever else. And I might stick another press release in there. For now, I'll just stick it in here. Just because I know the amount of backlinks that website has, it won't really affect it in a negative way. So on top of that, let's see. RSS is actually really great as a piggyback to this. So we will drag that over here. Press release. Oh, right. Does not output the links in that such a way. Actually, I think we might be done. Yep. So, I mean, there's certain things that the RSS can't do. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. So we're able to actually RSS the social bookmarks. I mean, that's not very important, but it's something that I like to do regardless. I also like to ping as well. But with that said, you really don't want to shotgun things anymore. And I mean, I know a lot of people do it and they're fine and blah, blah, blah. But I get a lot better of a result if I set certain blasts, maybe, I don't know, 2-3 days, sometimes even a week. But I mean, it really depends on the website. It really depends on your link profile. And it really depends on, oopsies, how much you're willing to do. I mean, my Senuke campaigns aren't the only thing that I do. I also, tier the second tier with social bookmark, like a lot of heavy social bookmarks and wikis as well, like thousands of wikis. So, I mean, really, it's up to you, but just keep in mind that you probably shouldn't be doing too much all at once because, I mean, it's a footprint. And the main things that Google looks for is content, backlinks, your velocity of those backlinks, and the new one, social signals. So that's why social bookmarking is actually really important. Things like Google+, Twitter, Facebook. That's why if you go to like places like Fiverr.com, you'll see a lot of gigs which are related to, giving you to another 1,000 fans or Twitter followers, etc., etc. Retweeting is actually also really popular, and there's other things as well that you can do with that. So generally speaking, I mean, that's what you kind of go through. You set this up, and you kind of go to the next button. Did I put PDF? Yeah, I did. Okay, so that's generally what you want to do. And here all that you have to do is just auto-generate and POP3 access and download a pre-Hotmail account or pre-created Hotmail account. What you can also do is actually just generate yourself a Hotmail account, but it's not necessary if you actually have Senuke. If for some reason you are using a cracked version of Senuke, you can do Hotmail or Yahoo, although do be careful with Yahoo because I noticed that they've actually been deleting a lot of my stuff lately. So it really depends on that. Just gotta pause it really. Oh, wait. Nope, don't need to. Perfect. Thought it would have taken a little longer than that. So really, all that you have to do, just quickly hover over this. Let's see. No HTML and code should be entered in here. Use links. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, so for a press release, you can just enter in the link there. I'll quickly show you how to do that, but I mean, it's the same as the old Senuke. You just kind of, oopsies, wrong one. You just kind of go here, find, let's say, scleral. Oh, that's a keyword I could have used. Oh, it's too late now. Links, and you're kind of good to go. There's one link. There's, man, I really forgot about scleral lenses. That's okay. How many keywords is this? Preview sample 590. You know what? No, I'm not going to shorten that. And I'm actually going to change this to one link per release. So it'll only enter one link in there. I probably should have changed that earlier, but that's okay. It's a little late for that now. There we go. So as you can see, you can just keep on spinning. It'll be different every single time. And I mean, it really depends on the quality of your respin, but like I said, this is for demonstration purposes, so I'm just going to go to the next one. Article directory, you definitely, I don't think, want any links in here, so what I'm just going to do is stick that in just to double check. I mean, you can hover over this. Yeah, don't enter any links in here. The links should only go in the author bio section, and I mean, those are already in there to my knowledge. Yeah, and again, it's doing 3 links, but I should have changed that earlier. I think in common project settings or in basic info. I'm pretty sure it was common project settings. So yeah, just lower the links down to 1 on each one and you'll be fine. Social network, again, what you'll want to do is put the links in by replacing certain keywords. And I mean, if it doesn't necessarily make sense, I mean, if this actually replaces your scleral lenses, for example, with, let's say, this site or not, or whatever, I wouldn't really worry about it too much. I mean, yes, worry about it. Try to make it in a certain way where it's, noticeable. What I usually do is actually split campaigns twice. And what I do is actually I use the LSIs and, your direct links and your target links on one campaign, and then what I do is use generic terms for a second campaign and then kind of work it in so it actually naturally flows. But I mean, I'm kind of weird that way. I like going that extra step. So I move that down, and I believe the rest ones should be okay with me including the articles. Did I uncheck? Yeah, I did. Okay. Okay. I forgot to do that. You know what? I'm actually just going to quickly open up the best spinner. Excuse me. Sorry guys, I forgot to make actually a social bookmarking thing, so what I'm going to do is just open that up and quickly make one. If the best spinner ever opens up, there we go. Now, I mean, there are a lot of different ways you can actually, earn a living online. A lot of different programs too that help you backlink the way that Senuke does, but I haven't found a program that's actually as complete or as full as Senuke X. Anyways, here we go. Sclera contacts. No, wait. I just tried on my pair of Sclera contacts, and they fit me great. Found a lot of great information on this site. And that's pretty much it. So basically from there, what you got to do is spin it. I usually go for best spins to try to make them make as much sense as possible. I recently tried on my set of sclera contact lenses. That's about as much as I'm going with that, I guess. So all you gotta do is just stick that in. Wrong window. Just preview it. I recently tried on a pair of sclera contacts and they fit me great. I identified loads of excellent information on this internet site. I mean, it doesn't make perfect sense, but Google won't notice that. So I guess you don't have to worry about it. I forgot how to... which one did I go for? Yeah, it was... One of the things that I'd recommend is going for a death by capture account, not only because it's the cheapest, but I actually found that the success rate of death by capture is amazing. So all you have to do for that is just sign up to the death by capture website, and you're pretty much good to go. I'm pretty sure that was the password that I used. Nope. There we go. Okay, so another thing that you can do is actually use a program called Captcha Sniper. Now, what this does is it'll actually go through 3 attempts first of Captcha Sniper before going to your other Captcha services. Captcha Sniper is a piece of software, which I actually do have and use, that actually, it solves your captchas for you. It doesn't use a website, it doesn't do anything like that. It's basically a program, and it's great. The main thing that I will say, though, it doesn't have reCAPTCHA support. So a lot of things that have reCAPTCHA, and those include a big list of PLIGs, which are your social bookmarking sites, your forums. A lot of social networks don't use it. So, I mean, use it with caution. It'll definitely save on, you know, CAPTCHA solving, but just be careful with that. This should be automatically checked to auto log in, and you should automatically do CAPTCHA solving as well. Basically from there, you're kind of good to go. The only reason why I'm not using Captcha Sniper is because, I mean, we don't need it for this video. Again, this is just kind of showing what it is. You should probably keep this normal. If you have a good connection, like I have a 6 megabit connection, so I usually like to stick to somewhere around the default. These are the defaults, by the way, so just for future reference, the values are 6 and 10. I'd mess around with that, just, you know, change around a bit just to see how it goes. If you have a really fast connection, you could probably ramp it up a lot more, but keep in mind that you also need a really good computer for that. Mind you, I'm on a 6-core and all that, so I'm fine, but just keep that in mind. Here, for example, you can choose exactly how many of a specific platform you'd actually want to include in your blasts. Now, I'm not using forum profiles, although that could easily be doable. Again, I don't necessarily need it for this one because I'm going to be backlinking with wikis, and then I'm going to be backlinking with massive forum profiles and massive blogs. Oh, I forgot to include a Google Places one, but that's okay. Other than that, I mean, you're pretty much kind of good to go. Yeah, you're kind of good to go. So, for this type of a submission, well, knowing how I do my backlinks, I'd be okay with doing 1 or 2 days, but really you should probably go between 2 and 4 days with that. Now, I'm not saying that you won't get successful by doing 1-day shotgun blasts. What I am saying is that it'll look more natural, and you'll probably get a lot better of an indexing rate if you know, spread it out a little bit, let Google see that they're coming in almost semi-naturally. That's what I'd suggest anyway. Actually, for that then, I'm just going to set that up as a 2-day thing. And all you got to do is just hit export. It'll go right through. Albeit a little slowly, but it'll go right through. Also, I think it's a little bit slower because I have other programs opened up and I'm basically also recording, so normally this goes by in like a second. So we finished that, so we can close this up. Excuse me. So basically what we're going to be doing is going to the actual thing. See, here what I'd normally want to do, actually just kind of backtracking, here I'd want to put the actual website name. And basically on the 10th month, or whatever, you'd actually want to put all your websites and then basically redo them just so you can actually organize them. Because I mean, on some of these, I have in one website maybe like 7 blasts that are done almost every single day. They're very small blasts, but I mean, they're really like a drip feed blast. So this is how you'd actually want to kind of organize it if you want to go full on out. Anyway, as you can see, the time right now is, 7:06. It'll start at 7:32. Just going to maximize this so you can kind of see what's going on here. As soon as this finishes, it'll start some of your day 1 things, and yeah, it'll basically drip feed for about 2 days. And that's perfect. So actually what I'm going to do is just start it up, and we're pretty much finished here. Schedule will be deleted, yada yada. Yeah, just go right through. So that's pretty much it for the Senuke primer. What I do after this is actually get all the results at the end and backlink them using other programs. One of the main ones that I use for backlinking tier 2 would be the Wiki Bomber and Social Bomber, or SB, or like Social Bookmark Bomber. One of the other things you can do actually is, for example, use something like Scrapebox and, go right through them all. But what I suggest doing for that is actually backlinking the tier 3 with Scrapebox and any type of other forum blasting software that you can think of, or basically your low quality profile links. So I mean, what you can do actually is just while you're in here is double click on the actual thing that's going through. For some reason I'm not sure why it's not. Oh, there they are. Okay. So as you can see, some of the custom ones didn't go through, but that's okay. It will go through some of the other stuff. Keep in mind that I probably should have been a little bit more careful with my categories and whatnot. Generally speaking, though, these success rates are actually really high, so I'm not actually sure what's going on right now, but that's okay. It might be because I actually set the threads a little too high, so I might have to change that down a little later on, because I mean, a lot of these should be going through, but that's okay. What's good actually about Senuke is that it updates quite often. Like every couple days, they basically add new websites and they take other websites down that just don't work anymore. I find it really great. I purchased Senuke and I can't live without it. I use it every single day and I make a lot of money with it. And in total, I mean, I have a lot of programs. These aren't the only programs I have, but these are the programs that I mostly use on a daily basis. And there's a lot of other programs in here, but I don't want to get into those right now. But I mean, in total, I mean, that's like $300, $400 a month worth of stuff that I do. And that doesn't, like, that also includes things like CAPTCHA solving. That also includes private proxies. Oh, that might be why. That's okay. Yeah, I have 20 to 30 private proxies that I buy every single month from buyproxies.org. They're great because, I mean, I do a lot of keyword checking. I do a lot of scrapeboxing. They're just great to have. But yeah, other than that, I mean, that's basically what you got to do to help you rank in Senuke. And I mean, I've been using Senuke for a lot of my keywords on the site. And I mean, I have a lot of keywords that are ranking #1. So yeah, that's about it. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.